Mike was a key breaststroker for us throughout the years. He was a valuable distance swimmer. He worked very, very hard at those two events. He took on a challenge of joining the Cyclones. He wanted to make himself a better swimmer. But he always wanted to do so much more for the team. He had a drive to fill any lane, for any stroke, for anything that we needed. He just wanted to score points for us. And I heard that every time you talked to me, Mike. Every time you wanted to be there, you wanted to be in that lane where you could get even that 1 point. And I won't forget that one after. Mark Schilling! Mark is the heart and soul of our slogan, winning isn't everything, it's a chief thing. He wants to be here. He truly wants to be a part of us. He wants to be a swim chief at the greatest expense. He has the best characteristic about him is how the other people see you, Mark. Every swimmer wanted you here. When you were missing, when you weren't around, it was where was Mark. Everyone on the team was proud to have Mark as part of the team. Everyone knew the importance of having Mark around. And I'll say one more thing, though. When I look back over the 4 years, the one thing I'll be proud of is I see the big guy in the picture every year. You're there, you stuck with us every single year, and it wouldn't be a Swimming Chiefs picture without seeing the big guy up in the back row. Garrett Desch. Is there anybody that has more fun swimming than Garrett Desch? Now, sometimes a little of my football side would have to come out and practice, and I'd have to get a little bit, I'd go into a little bit of a rant every once in a while. And the team wasn't quite doing it. It wasn't awful, but the team was not quite doing what they needed to do in practice, so they were fooling around a little bit. So Coach Cooney would give me a little elbow and say, I think you need to take off on him a little bit. And so I would. And I'd say a few things and I'd get a little angry. And, you know, Garrett was there in the practice, and they'd do a lap after. They all like little schools of fishes. They'd go right down, go right down, and he'd come back. Garrett would come back, and he'd be right there at the beginning of the next one. And he'd look up at those puppy dog eyes. Very respectfully, he'd look at me and go, "That's old man, you're gonna have a heart attack." In all seriousness, he was a very strong IMer ever since you were a freshman. I think I plotted you into that. You became your cornerstone because you could do all 4 strokes, and you didn't complain. You didn't ever come up to me and say, I don't want to do that, I got to get out of the IM, don't put me in the IM. You never did that. You were a leader in creating a fun atmosphere for this team. Everywhere we went. Every bus ride, every practice, every meet, it was a fun atmosphere. I gotta be clear. Everyone's laugh. His laugh will be irreplaceable. We will not. We will miss that laugh. We will miss that because it made us all laugh when we started going. And it was an easy laugh for you to have because you're a great guy. You're genuinely love this whole team. How the cries from the crowd have changed over the years, and especially from his mom. I remember distinctly Matt coming out with the team, and we're trying to find a spot for Matt, and he landed in the 500. He landed in the 500. And I know, lap for lap, watching Matt go back and forth for those 20 laps, he was probably cursing me after every flip turn, but he was getting it done. He was going through, and I remember being right there at the end. I think you scored, right? I think you scored. The first time you scored points, and I made sure he knew that. And the cries from Mom in the crowd to get him to finish were wonderful, getting you to finish. And then, as a senior, those cries changed because you were finishing first. And I think that was the proudest thing for your mom, is the fact that you had progressed from that swimmer that was just making it at the end to that swimmer now that was finishing first. Because you paid your dues, you made your changes, you practiced at 100%, and you did the things you needed to become that inside lane swimmer from the outside lane swimmer. So we appreciate what you've done, and what you have done is taken us to a greater, and you've taken this team to a spot with greater capabilities that we could have never reached before. And because you did that, we were able to go 9-3. Fine. Sean Thornton. Come on up, Sean. Tasmanian Devil Swimming. The Energizer Bunny in practice. You come up with a million things. There are so many things. When you watch him swim, he's like hurt in the water. When he's in practice, the people behind you are cursing you. You just keep going and going. They would do 2 practices a day. They'd be nonstop. We all have a Sean story. That can go across the table. That's some kind of Sean story. A story where you might say, Sean did what? That's Sean. You know, like, yeah, let's put Pokemon on a girl's shirt. Out of nowhere. But listen, I don't want to spoil this night for you, Sean. So let's talk about some positive things. Seriously, you've taken your body and you've driven it beyond limits. You have put yourself in a shape that I've never seen any swimmer be in before. It was incredible that you have done the progression that you have in the breaststroke, and you came ever so close to getting to that record that you wanted. You should be very proud that you had that goal and you kept going after it. You can't always get your goals, but you have those there for a reason, so you can go after it. You never stop. You never, ever stop. All I hope for you is that you can find something in your life that you can use that Energizer Bunny theory, that non-stop, that go-get attitude to do something successful in your life. It's there. You just got to pull that. You were so serious when it came time to swim, whether it was in the relay, or whether it was the breaststroke, or whether it was the backstroke. You were very serious about it, and you cared like no other swimmer on the team. Congratulations. You joined us with a large group of girls along with Lisa. I think there were a large group of your friends that decided this was going to be an aerobics class. We were going to come and swim. Well, Beck obviously stuck it out. But I think along her junior year last year, she got this little bug, what you might call the time bug. And she just saw this time, and there's this kind of plateau for girls that they want to get underneath that 30-second 50 freestyle, and she wanted so badly to get underneath that, and she kept working and working at it. And it was kind of like a bug that bit her that she just wanted to keep swimming. And again, it's another girl, Becky, this year, sickness, illness, asthma, all of those things kind of just made it so that she wasn't at practice as much as she needed to be, because you can't miss in swimming like that, but she certainly wanted to be there. And the swimming gods may not have shined down on her in the way that she wanted, but her courage to keep going and stay here longer than all of her friends and stay with us is something to be chosen. Thank you. Meets last year, she would try everything she could to be in practice, and she would ice down after every practice. You would see her in meets this year, throwing the ice bags on her knees just so that she can remain part of it. The daily pain, the ice, the rehab, and your knee's sore, right? There you go. She's having surgery in a couple of days, so it just doesn't stop. So the injury was part of her life, but she didn't let that bother her. I kind of looked at her during this season, too, as a little mini-me, but she's a lot cuter than I am. Ready? Do this thing. All right, here's what I'm going to do. It's very difficult for maybe some of you to dissect when I'm talking like a father and when I'm talking like a coach. So when I'm going to talk like a father, so this happens when I'm a father. And then I'll wear this hat when I'm talking like a coach. Okay, so we can distinguish so there's no confusion here. Okay? So, as a coach, this young lady, and this is not unique, please. This is, I've done the same thing for Laura, and I've done the same thing for Betsy, and I think it's important that these things are said on her senior night. She's a 5-time school record holder with 2 individual records and 3 relays. She's a 9-time conference championships, 6 individuals and 3 relays. She's been named 8 times to the Northern Hills All-Conference team. She's a 10-time county champion with 5 individuals and 5 relays. She's a member of the Essex County record-holding 200 medley relay. She's been named 9 times to the Essex County All-County team. She's 4-year top 16 place finisher in her events. This year she finished 5th and 6th. And on Sunday she'll be named the Essex County Swimmer of the Year. I've been anticipating and dreading this night for 4 years. When I was appointed coach in 1999, Corda was 9 years old. Although I could not have imagined at that time that a 9-year-old... glasses in. I gotta look super. I could not have imagined that my daughter would have progressed as far as she has progressed. But what's important to me was that I treated this team as if my daughter was always on it, and that I motivated swimmers, and that I established a program that she'd be proud of when she got here. So it was very, very important to me that this program got off to the right steps, and I really, really do think it did. I wanted this program to be ready. I wanted this program to be the best. I wanted this program to win championships, and it has. And it's gone farther than I've ever thought it would go, and now she's gone too. Back to the coach. I'm going to miss those 20 hit points per meet. So juniors, step it up. I'm going to miss those 32 plus points in championship meets. Right? I've been fortunate to have some very, very good swimmers in the past. I've had the Laura Litos and the Betsy Roches and the Megan Meads. I've had some very great swimmers. But as a coach, I never had a swimmer that I could plug into any single event and have a pretty good shot of winning any of those events. And I have some swimmers now that can do that. I have some swimmers that need to be thinking in that direction. But I've never had a swimmer that was able to do those types of things. Back to the father. I was the luckiest father at a lot of meets because my colleagues would come up to me, my colleagues would say great things. And I wish every one of you could be in that position. There's so many of you parents that have great swimmers, that have great kids. But I was able to go to meets, I'm able to go to things, and my colleagues in swimming and other sports come up to me and rank me praise for the things that she's doing. You've allowed me to do that. I had nothing to do with that other than be your father. You did all the work at Cougars and everywhere else. As a coach, I didn't share pants. As a coach, I'm very fortunate that as a club swimmer, you always decided to swim your best times here. You had PBs every time you went in the water for us in championship meets. As a father, I get used to this forum about thanking you and doing all the things, but I'll tell you one thing. I want to thank you because I know your mother. I know your mother and I are more proud of you today, and we'll be more proud of you tomorrow than we ever can be right now. Thank you.
Each and every one of you added something special to our team, and we thank you so much.
We're going to miss you very much, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the girls. Becky Schiffenhaus,
Mark Schilling, Matt Roselli, and Sean Thornton.